Hey everyone, welcome to another Instagram Live, CIS Abroad. My name is Pat Harvey. I am a study abroad advisor.
Hello, everybody. So, my name is Sonya, and I'm the site director for South Africa on behalf of CIS. I'm essentially your go to person for anybody coming over via CIS to study in Cape Town. And I assist you just in adjusting and easing into our culture, showing you around our city, basic things, just to familiarize yourself and to make you feel at home. Yeah.
Perfect. I guess I'll just jump right into it. And if anybody joining has any questions, feel free to comment below. We'll try to answer them as timely as possible. So I guess to start off with, so when students first arrive, I know it may vary depending on which program they do, but in general, kind of what is their schedule? Is there do we meet them at the airport and do we bring them into their housing, that sort of thing?
Yeah. So essentially, when our CIS participants arrive, the universities arrange for the shuttle service from the airport back to the university, and they fetch you, they wait for you at the airport, take you through to theirs, and they settle you in. So you'll do your first set of admin tasks and responsibilities, so pre-registration and so on. That all gets done on your first day of arrival. You'll move into your place of accommodation. You'll meet the other participants as well, and then on the second day, that's when I will come through to the university, and we'll do a welcome lunch and a little bit of an activity, because I know jet lag flying all the way down to Cape Town is quite real, and I've seen students battle with it. So I really take it easy with you guys on the first day of orientation. Just to drive through Cape Town and try and just show you key locations. And then it's early to raise so that you can try and get into our time zone as soon as possible. But yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Do you work with the students at Stellenbosch and Cape Town?
I will be, yes. So in the past, we've only had students at Stellenbosch University, but we've just recently signed UCT on board. So in future going forward, I'll be working with the UCT team as well. Yeah.
Okay. And how far, sorry? How far, away are the two universities? Are they very far away from each other?
So the University of Cape Town is essentially almost literally in the CBD of Cape Town. It's probably about a 10-minute drive into the CBD from UCT. But UCT and Stellenbosch University, it's about 40 kilometers away. So Stellenbosch is this beautiful town just outside of Cape Town. And the whole town is built around the university, essentially, whereas UCT is more city-based, in the hustle and bustle of Cape Town itself. Yeah.
Okay. Is University of Cape Town, is there one campus, or is it kind of spread out throughout Cape Town?
It's one campus, but it's one huge campus, and it's on the backdrop of Table Mountain itself. So it lends itself into nature, so to say. And then, so at the back, you'll find this beautiful forest that you can go walk in and start hiking or climbing, into Table Mountain itself. But in the front of the university, you have our highways and freeways leading to the CBD and leading away into the suburbs. So it's really in a very unique position and location, very centrally located.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And is there, around both of the universities, can students, is there shopping, and is it easy to get, around both, in and around Cape Town, but also Stellenbosch as well?
Yeah. So with Stellenbosch, everything's within walking distance. As I said, the town itself, it's built around the university. It's a tree-lined area, lots of natural outdoor spaces, and the students, they either walk everywhere or they cycle everywhere. But then there's public transportation, there's Uber, there's the local taxi operators, etc. You don't even need a car in Stellenbosch. Everything is just so accessible. It's when you want to venture outside of Stellenbosch that you'll probably either hire a car, depending on your destination that you're wanting to go to, or you can Uber. Uber is very popular over here. UCT, you'll probably need a car. Because of the location and that it's on the highway or freeway, it's not necessarily accessible to walk down, although students do it. The closest little neighborhood is Rosebank, and it's a very prominent student town, lots of restaurants and bars and activities. But essentially, for the city center, I'd say a car or ride sharing is very popular, or once again, Uber. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What is one question I do get a lot of from students is it me knowing the students just knowing English, is that enough to kind of get around? And would you say in general most people just speak English in both of those locations?
Yeah. So South Africa has 11 official languages. Fortunately, English is the most spoken, so to say, or at least in Cape Town and the Western Cape. So UCT, you'll definitely, both UCT and Stellenbosch, you'll get by in English. Stellenbosch, however, is a predominantly Afrikaans town. So they tend to mix their words, and you'll find people speaking to you in Afrikaans and English mixed, and you end up understanding it. But if you move closer to UCT and you try and speak Afrikaans there might not be people that understand Afrikaans. So English is you'll be fine with English. Yeah, definitely.
And is it you mentioned a little bit about traveling outside of the universities? Is it easy to get around, like if you want to go see another part of South Africa?
Oh yes. So unfortunately in Cape Town itself, our public transportation system is just not up to scratch right now. We've got a few challenges. But to travel outside, there's lots, we're in such a high tourist destination. There's lots of operators, traveling up the Garden Route or to Durban or Johannesburg. So it's really easy to travel outside. And it's renting a car is also very doable. Our roads are great. It's just, you'll have to get used to driving on the opposite side to what you used to back in the States. But other than that, it's easy. Loads of our students, they rent a car and they do a road trip, and they've been fine. Yeah.
And they wouldn't need anything other than like a driver's license to rent a car?
Yeah, there are companies that offer specific packages for international students at a discounted rate. So so there's certain insurances that they'll need to sign for, because they're an international student, but it's really it's good cover, and it's what you need, But there are lots of companies, because there's such a huge influx of international students coming to Cape Town. They've got package deals for those that want to do long-term car rentals.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Do you see a lot in both, and I'm not sure if you'd be able to speak to this or not, but do you see a lot of international students in Cape Town and Stellenbosch?
Oh, yes, all the time. It's and not just students. There's interns, there's volunteers, loads of volunteers that come over for 6 to 8 week period. Sometimes they come just to paint our kindergartens in underprivileged areas, etc. So there's always a buzz, an international buzz, I could say, in certain areas of Cape Town and Stellenbosch. Yeah. The campuses itself, both UCT and Stellenbosch, they boast about 4,000 international students alone per annum. So there's quite a big community of international students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. On the subject of kind of travel, do you have any idea of like what students can expect for excursions that we might take them on?
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, I like to tailor make my excursions. So not necessarily just the off the shelf products that's available. Um, but besides the garden route, we've got a great safari just about 2 hours outside of Cape Town where you can see our four big five. There's the west coast of South Africa, which boasts beautiful beaches. We've got our penguin colony down at Simonstown and Boulders Beach, and then there's also lots of hikes. We're surrounded by mountains, so we've got the Limietberge out in the Boerland, and all-day hikes, or we can do multiple-day hikes. It just really depends. And then we've just launched the longest zip liner in the world out in Mossel Bay. So anybody with an adventurous spirit can do that. And then shark cage diving, also very popular.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds amazing. One question I also get is kind of what the weather is kind of like. I know it's south of the equator, and it's going to be very different for a lot of students. So, for summer and winter months, is there could you tell us a little bit about like kind of what students can expect temperature wise?
Yeah, well, today we had a really fantastic summer's day. It was 30 degrees Celsius, which is about an average about 90 degrees Fahrenheit for you. And that's basically on average our temperatures in summer. We do, however, this time of the year have we have a windy season, and we've got a southeaster that blows, and it's called the Cape Doctor. And we actually have fun with it because it blows so heavily that you have to hold on to the lampposts. Our cable car shuts down. It can't operate up Table Mountain. So I can post some footage of last week's Cape Doctor, and it happened to be blowing the day the students arrived. So they were really welcomed with a gust of wind. But they always say Cape Town is known to have 4 seasons in one day. So it can start off with a real misty morning, and then the sun will burn off the mist, and we'll have a beautiful hot day, and the wind will come up close to sunset, and then it might rain at night. But during this time of the year, it's really warm to moderate temperatures. Our winter months are rainy. We are rainy climates. And the temperatures probably drop to about 5 degrees Fahrenheit. 5 degrees Celsius, which is what, about 15 Fahrenheit for you guys. So we don't have snow in Cape Town because we're coastal. The mountains, from Stellenbosch, you can view the mountain range, and they will have the peaks covered in snow, but never snowfall on our doorstep, etc.
Right.
But it does get cold.
Gotcha. I think that's what students should be prepared for, especially during our summer season, thinking that, if they're going to Africa, it'll be hot. But I think there might be some surprises there when they arrive during the winter and it's 5 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
So as we finish up here, the last question I kind of want to ask, and it's a question that I receive a lot, is kind of safety. I know speaking from my past experience in advising students, we've never had any kind of safety concerns over in South Africa, no big incidents, but could you speak to a little bit about, is it very different in terms of, anywhere else in regards to safety?
Well, I think with safety, Patrick, you always have to trust your gut. Always go, safety in numbers. We advise that to our students. So if you are going out, try and go out in a group at night. If you're going out to bars or to a restaurant, always go in a group. And if you leave in a group, make sure you come back in a group. So if 5 of you leave, come back as 5. Just your day-to-day activities on the streets. Obviously, we have, or like any other city, we have hotspot areas where we'll advise you not to walk around texting on your phone, etc. Never put your phone in your back pocket, and make sure your bags are zip closed. But that's in town itself, in the center of Cape Town. We have petty crime. Other safety issues that I would speak to, and what Cape Town is really, not just Cape Town, South Africa, are misguided or misjudging the weather. So if you're out for the day and you want to do a hike and you think it's a hot day and it's a small hill, it actually, our mountains are deceiving. So people sometimes go unprepared and the weather changes and they're stuck on the mountain in a pair of flip-flops and a t-shirt and not enough water. So in that sense, I always ask students just to be more mindful of what their activities are and the plans that they make for that. And then we've got a lot of service delivery challenges in South Africa, and there's constantly and unexpectedly there are protests. So just knowing what the political situation is like, keeping up to date with the news, and avoiding those areas as far as possible. In recent years, we've had our universities, the students also protesting. Stellenbosch not as much, but definitely UCT, and that causes somewhat of an inconvenience. I think for our students participating, it's definitely something new to them to witness service delivery protests. But it's part of South Africa. We still relatively trying to iron out our democracy and our challenges that comes with a recent democracy. And when I say recent, it's actually been 20 some odd years, but we're still ironing out the challenges that come with that. But I always just tell them, just be aware of your surroundings and trust your guts. And I'm a phone call.
I mean, that sounds like, absolutely. I mean, that sounds like most locations, just being aware of your surroundings and just you're cognizant of where you are.
Yes.
But I can end it there. We're kind of at time. I don't want to keep you too much longer. So, Sonya, thank you so much for taking the time today. I realize it's a little bit late there, but I appreciate you talking to us about South Africa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we'll chat again real soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. We'll chat again real soon.
Perfect.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.